Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. First, I just want to make a notice that we will be having a live chat this week because of what's happening with Debby, but it's going to be on Thursday at 8 p.m. So that way we could discuss all the factors as Debby starts to transition into an extratropical storm, and we'll go over all the details of what to expect for Friday and Saturday. This morning, it has been rather muggy out there as we're seeing temperatures skyrocket into the mid to upper 80s, but it feels like the upper 90s to around 100 degrees out there because of all the humidity. We're talking about dew points in the mid to upper 70s. So, what we are experiencing here is the amount of tropical moisture that is already in place outside of the influences of Debby. This has nothing to do with Debby. This is simply a situation where we have a tropical air mass with plenty of moisture in place. Over the interior, you have temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s with dew points in the lower to mid 70s along the coast, mid 80s with dew points in the mid to upper 70s, making it feel like it's near 100 degrees. And here comes this stationary boundary. Now, I talked about this in the premium video discussion. So if you want more detailed analysis on Debby and this rainfall pattern over the next 7 days with really in-depth scientific details on this weather pattern, definitely check out the premium consulting video discussion that is going to be live on the dashboard. But this is part of that discussion. And what I want to show here is the high amount of precipitable water value. When you're over 1.5 inches, that supports heavy downpours. When you start pushing over 2 inches, like we're already seeing without lifting involved here, without the stationary front interacting just yet, that is a lot of moisture. And so when you have this amount of moisture already in the atmosphere, it is capable of producing very heavy downpours. And that is why we have flash flood watches out, because while not everyone's going to see these heavy downpours, where they do develop, you're talking about 1 inch per hour rainfall rates, which on the I-95 corridor from New York down to Philadelphia and through central New Jersey, there are some locations that cannot handle that rainfall as far as the sewers, right? So you're going to have the potential for some significant urban flooding, very poor driving conditions this evening. The evening rush hour is going to be a mess with this type of heavy rainfall. So let me show you the overall impact and the overall setup here for the next couple of days. This frontal boundary will be sinking south slowly. Behind it is an actual polar air mass. Yes, with much lower humidity and tranquil weather conditions, that's coming for us. But we have to get through all this rainfall first. So this stationary front is going to sink south. It's going to lift all this moisture that's already in place over the region and produce waves and waves of showers and thunderstorms. And it'll be instigated by some of what we call short waves marching along this stationary front, enhancing lifting. So again, you won't see rainfall all night and all day tomorrow and Thursday, but when you get hit with these waves of thunderstorms and showers, it's going to produce very heavy rainfall. In the meantime, we have Debby down here. It's going to meander off the Georgia and South Carolina coast for the next 24 hours and then lift up into the Carolinas on Thursday. By Friday, well, it's going to be lifting up towards Virginia and transition into what we call an extratropical low pressure system with a ton more tropical moisture. So when I was talking about precipitable water values around 2 inches, this would introduce precipitable water values around 3 inches. And because of that, let me zoom back in here. Because of that setup here, what you end up with is the potential for rainfall rates over 2 inches per hour and the potential for widespread areas of rainfall of 4 to 8 inches around the region by the time we get to Saturday evening. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of rain. So on the infrared satellite picture, you can see the lifting associated with our stationary front, slowly sinking south. Here's Debby out here. That will continue to meander off the South Carolina coast and lift northward. This will drop down first. This moves in, transitions, and lifts through our region on Friday and Saturday, making for a very wet end to the week and start to our weekend. So let's dive into this forecast for today. Increasing cloud cover with hazy, hot, and humid conditions through the early afternoon. By the late afternoon and evening hours, showers and thunderstorms break out throughout the region. Temperatures will rise into the lower to mid 80s over the northern interior, mid to upper 80s on the immediate coast, lower to mid 90s in the I 95 corridor, with a heat index touching 100 degrees. So, again, it's just a muggy, ugly day with showers and thunderstorms becoming widespread by this evening into the overnight hours tomorrow morning, with areas of flash flooding. That's going to lead to low temperatures by tomorrow morning in the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, upper 60s to lower 70s along the coast. Flash flooding will be a significant threat for tomorrow morning's rush hour as well. Tomorrow afternoon, waves of showers and thunderstorms continue. Our stationary front's right about here. To the north of the stationary front, you'll get some clearing and much drier air trying to build in, but this front will be wavering north and south, so I wouldn't expect too much tranquil weather conditions. I'd still expect some scattered showers up here in the Poconos and Catskills, but your worst weather conditions are going to be from the New York City metro down through the Philadelphia metro, southeastern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey. Just a very wet period of weather with high temperatures tomorrow in the lower to mid 70s because of the cloud cover and showers. By the time we get to Thursday, more rainfall. Our stationary front's hanging around. This has, again, nothing to do with Debby. It's just our stationary front hanging around, the clash between the polar air mass over New England and the tropical air mass surging up the coast. So this is all separate from what's going on with Debby. Just waves of showers and thunderstorms with low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s along the coast, high temperatures in the lower to mid 70s throughout the region. On Friday, our stationary front again remains over the region. Debby moves into the Carolinas and starts to transition into an extratropical low pressure system. Our rain shield grows and expands and intensifies as the moisture of Debby begins to enter the equation in this whole setup with our stationary front. Meanwhile, a cold front will be approaching from the Ohio River Valley. Look for temperatures to range from the lower to mid 60s for lows, and high temperatures will range from the lower to mid 70s with cloudy skies and periods of rain. Friday night into Saturday, the remnants of Debby lifts through our region along with the cold front with waves of showers and thunderstorms and heavy downpours and flash flooding. Windy conditions can be expected as well in some of these thunderstorms as some of the stronger winds at the mid levels mix down with wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. So now there's a potential for wind damage, there's a potential for power outage, and of course, flash flooding. So just a nasty situation overall on Saturday. Look for low temperatures in the mid to upper 60s over the interior, mid to upper 60s in your suburbs, and upper 60s to lower 70s in your urban areas. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 70s throughout the region. Finally, on Saturday night, the cold front clears out, and with it, much lower humidity. A cool, dry polar air mass invades by Sunday morning with clearing skies and low temperatures in the upper 50s over the interior, lower to mid 60s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the upper 70s over the interior, lower to mid 80s along the coast with clear skies and low humidity. On Monday and Tuesday, look for scattered cloud cover, low humidity, tranquil conditions and much lower humidity with low temperatures in the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 60s along the coast, and high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 70s over the interior, upper 70s to lower 80s along the coast, and lower to mid 80s in the Delaware River Valley. Oh yeah, and did I mention much lower humidity? I'm kind of looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we're going to be dealing with some very heavy rainfall, with rainfall amounts ranging from 4 to 8 inches throughout the region. And we will have our live chat on Thursday at 8 p.m. to cover all of this and answer all of your questions. So have a wonderful day. And as always, stay safe out there.